Welcome to the I Am Worthy podcast, where we don't believe in choosing between this or that, but instead we are worthy of it all. I am your host, Brittany Noel, and despite being a licensed therapist, I know better than anybody what it's like to struggle with the doubt and fears behind the pursuit of your success in life, love, and your purpose. So join me as I uncover the secrets to becoming unapologetically worthy so that you can have, do, and be all things. Hey, you guys, welcome back to another awesome, amazing episode for the I Am Worthy podcast. I am Brittany Noel, your host. You guys know I am a therapist, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, but on our podcast, I am simply just your friend in the journey as we are all embarking on really discovering what it means to be unapologetically worthy in all areas of our lives. And so today's episode does absolutely no different. We are going to have another amazing conversation with someone that I'm excited to have this conversation with. Please welcome to the show my guest, Bryan Carroll. He is a youth advocate, educational consultant, and also an author. But you guys probably know him from the reality TV show Ready to Love. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm great. Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So you guys, I met Bryan two weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we met at the Live Fully event. You were on. He was a guest on the panel that I was speaking on. Did an amazing job, by the
Thank
way. But I wanted to have you on the show just because after meeting you, I learned a lot about you, and I was surprised that even though I did watch the Ready to Love show, I didn't know that you had such an interest in mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me where that interest came from, and what made you want to look into it.
Well, the mental health interest really came through a different series of events throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiving my father, being an athlete, and realizing I call it post-traumatic sports syndrome, and how through my life I was saying I'm good when I wasn't. Like I was lying for like so many years. Like yeah, I'm good, but as a man, it's like you weak if you say, you hurt my feelings. Like you can't. You got to be emotionally unavailable, and I don't think that that's healthy.
Right.
And it festered a lot of different issues. And then working as a certified special education teacher in a behavior class, which essentially was a mental health class,
Right.
I started realizing all these restorative practices, things that I was doing, and doing all this research to better. I always feel like the change I want to see must first begin in me. So all the changes I was trying to make within myself to be able to love on those kids and operate effectively in the classroom, studying. I was on YouTube University studying like a mug, and I started realizing how much this is all mental health.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend who's a black guy who's we don't have much representation in the mental health field.
Right.
He said, "Bro, everything you do is mental health. Like you really need to start taking it seriously and go to school."
Right.
So it's like all these different events and things just going, and then I kind of started my own journey with getting therapy.
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta pull the layers off and really, get myself together, because I'm not gonna be able to be the best father, eventually husband, or representative for whatever.
Yeah.
Without getting myself together.
What was it like going into therapy? Because getting black men in therapy is one thing.
It was scary.
Mm-hmm.
To sit there and talk with somebody, you got to be comfortable, because you're gonna get emotionally naked.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
All the way.
I don't care how comfortable you are with yourself. Like, you're going to be emotionally naked. You're going to have to talk about things that aren't comfortable. You're going to cry. I'm a crybaby, so I'm in there crying, farting and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The snot bubble.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm in there.
Yes.
I'm in there crying. I'm in there talking about things from when I was 4, 5 that I didn't know affected me. And it changed my lens through which I see things. And I developed habits to try to, fight off insecurities.
Yeah.
Then, or different social constructs and norms that they were saying how you got to be as a male back then, that I was still struggling with well into my 30s.
Right. Yeah. It's deep. I think the whole purpose of therapy is really to analyze your thoughts, analyze your behaviors, and start connecting the dots and really ask yourself why. Because most times we are just moving through life, doing what we do, not ever stopping to think, why do I do it this way? Why do I think this way? Why do I feel this way?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes asking the question why opens up a lot of doors that you didn't know needed to be open.
Yeah. Wow.
And even uncomfortable with those doors being open. So I applaud
Mhm.
you for going.
Oh, thank you. It's a process and still working it out. And I realize it's so much easier to give advice than to actually follow it.
Mhm,
Like I
mhm.
can sit up there and listen in on and help somebody develop tools.
Right.
And that's what's so powerful about therapy. People always say you know better. When you know better, you do better.
Right, right.
Well, there's a difference between, having an idea,
Mm-hmm.
and I think knowing has to do with doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have an idea of it, but you're not acting out on it. So, gathering those tools was just
Mm-hmm.
so powerful, and then being able to do that for other people, but then you get into your life and you feel stuck
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of situations and circumstances. So, getting those tools was,
Mm-hmm.
it's powerful.
Right. So I'm wondering, with you going through therapy, doing a lot of your own self work, do you feel like any of the tools and the skills you have gained and insight that you've learned about yourself, do you feel like it's helped you navigate the dating world better? Because we saw you on the show. How do you feel like
That
the
goddamn joke. No, no.
Yes, everybody saw you on the show, sir.
Uh,
So how do you feel like investing in your own mental health
mm.
prepared you for dating?
It prepared me 100% because
Mhm.
if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So you just think about the aspects of dating from when you in middle school and you see a girl you like,
Mm.
and you scared to go talk to them, till you
Mhm.
you get the confidence to go talk to somebody. You having conversations on the phone, to when you're in college, the stupidity of how you're dating. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Your early 20s, you're being very unintentional.
Right.
You're going all based off feelings and infatuation, and then you start to mature. So when you go through the journey of a mental health journey, and you start to establish different norms for yourself, understanding your value, who you are, what you represent, whose you are, what you want, what you desire, what's best for you, as opposed
Right.
to what you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now your lens through how you date is different. Yeah,
Mhm.
she fine, but I don't want an empty vessel.
Mm.
What are her ideals towards parenting?
Mhm.
How does she feel about marriage?
Mhm.
How does she feel about gender roles?
Right. Right.
Do we need to have gender roles? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? How does she feel about spiritual practices,
Mhm.
religion? How does she feel about social justice?
Mhm.
I'm passionate about societal issues. I'm passionate about working with kids. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different things that you're thinking about. And I mean, when you sit down and talk with people, you can get an idea of how they feel.
Right.
And then, but nothing is like time. Like, people can say as much as they want, but once you spend time, you'll get to see who they really are.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I agree with that. And I think that when you do your own emotional growth, it becomes a lot harder to date just because you see things a lot differently.
Oh,
And it becomes a lot harder for you to date at a surface level
mm-hmm.
because you're operating from a deeper level within yourself.
Yeah.
So you want more
Yeah.
from your partner. And I mean,
Well, and also you gotta get a balance, right?
mhm.
So you gotta get that balance between um I'm waking up about dating, about love and understanding what unconditional love and what dating is. So um I don't want to have such a short stick and
Yeah,
be willing to just cut people off. Oh, this ain't go
exactly.
right. Cause some people they get some knowledge and they start judging and cutting everybody off all
Yeah.
quick. So I'll say you gotta know what are your non-negotiables,
Yes.
and what are the things that you gonna have to deal with something.
Mhm.
So I ain't saying that you're just allowing somebody to run over you
Mhm.
and letting them feel entitled, but there's certain things you're gonna deal with.
Right.
You know, so what are those core values and what are those non-negotiables that you're just absolutely unwilling to deal with?
Right.
So you got to be spending real time having real conversations and watching their real habits.
Yes.
There's a difference between a red flag and a yellow flag. A
Mhm.
yellow flag ain't necessarily a non-negotiable, but that's just something like, I notice you set goals, but you're very hedonistic.
Mhm.
If it feels good, it's something you like, you'll accomplish it. But if it's not, then that's a conversation. And I'm letting
Right.
you know how I feel about that. And we can start our growth process where, you're understanding how I feel. We can work towards growing in that area. Or if you just completely ignore it,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times when we're not operating in the spirit of wisdom or discipline,
Mm-hmm.
our judgment gets clouded within dating because we're
Yeah.
doing a lot of other activities that make you not see people clearly, you know, just keeping it real,
Like what? Prayer?
or thumb wrestling and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out which activities. Okay.
Prayer always gives you clarity. It wasn't
Okay.
doing no praying though.
I
Needed
do agree with you though.
to.
Like it gets harder for us to see the flags, and many times we don't want to see the flags
Yeah.
because man, I just started liking you, and here
Oh
come the
yeah.
red flag right here.
That's exhausting too.
Ah, so that leads me to the conversation that I've been having with a lot of the women who follow me, and it's about dating fatigue.
Yeah.
That you reach a point to where it's like you've been, dating, whether it's one person or multiple people, and you just reach a point to where you're exhausted with these connections, exhausted with getting to know people, exhausted with being vulnerable or being transparent. And so you get to a point where you're like, and now I rest.
It's tougher for women though.
Why do you say that?
I mean, like look at a college campus. It's like most of the time it's 7, 8, 9, 10 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a decent dude, you got a mouthpiece, you're aesthetically pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading my
Mm-hmm.
dictionary a little bit, so I want to say
Got you.
aesthetically pleasing.
Aesthetically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're a nice looking guy, you're good with your words, got some goals, you're a hot commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be an athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's gonna take a high level of character and discipline to sit there and say, I got, her, she's attractive, she's cool, she like me, she attractive, she like me. So now it's like a sense of entitlement, you know? And it takes a high level of character at them young ages.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got dudes that's 40, 50, 60.
They
I
can't
got
do
a
it.
friend,
Yeah.
I know people, parents in their 70s still trying to act up, you know what I'm saying? But it's tough just because of the imbalance in life
Right.
with there's more women than men.
Right.
Women are raised to say that your value is placed in being a wife,
Mm-hmm.
whereas a man's like, man, go ahead, sow your royal oats, act the fool, have fun, and then you settle down later. But it's like you missing out on something.
Mm-hmm.
But truth be told, I started late, like
Mm-hmm.
acting bad. The more you do that, the further you get away from the desire to even want to do right because you're building up. That what you do most, is that what you do best.
Right.
If you work
Exactly.
out, you'll get stronger. So whatever you do, you'll get better at it.
Right.
So if you participate in being a male thought, you'll get better at it.
Being a male thought.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
and it
Yeah, I get it. And there aren't the way that women go, and we will seek out resources, tools, skills, programs, webinars, books, things that help us prepare to go into a relationship in a healthy way.
yeah.
Men are getting better at it, but that has not been
Yeah.
the standard as of yet, as of late.
Yeah.
So what I talk to my women about, especially when we talk about dating, and on the I Am Worthy podcast, we talk about knowing your value, knowing your worth means that when a suitor approaches you, I always use the metaphor of a house. When
Okay.
you go and look at a house, if you're interested in that house, you put down earnest money. And that earnest money is your investment to say, hey, I'm interested. Let's check out everything and see if we can get some negotiations going
Mhm.
to see if this is what I want to purchase.
Mhm.
But I'm very clear about women giving more of themselves, investing more in the relationship before the suitor has ever made an investment.
And I agree 100%. And the problem is uh scarcity
Mm.
and a lack of discipline. And I'll say that because we have these natural intimacy desires and needs, companionship.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I mean, you get yourself in situations you wasn't even trying to be nasty. You just wanted some intimacy. You just
Mm.
wanted somebody to be there. And
Right.
because we grown, you end up forcing me to do things I didn't want to do,
Because they
just
had a gun to your head. Go
yeah,
ahead.
that's generally how it goes with me. I don't,
Mm.
no, but we end up getting ourselves in situations,
Right.
because we want intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
we want companionship, we want time, we want somebody. Like you always see stuff. me and somebody's son. Everybody, don't nobody really want to do the work though.
No.
Like, it's cool to go on a trip. We got
Mhm.
our bathing suits on. We having drinks. We eating. We having fun. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But what about when your feelings are hurt
Mhm.
and you feel like you've been the bigger person consistently, but now you want to say, I ain't gonna call this person. What about being completely emotionally naked? And I heard TD Jake say something. It takes a different type of maturity to be able to express your emotions
Mhm.
in a positive and a healthy way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like being able to really express your emotions. Who can really do that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we want time. So it's, and for men sometimes it could be easy to take the easy way out because I mean you got somebody else you want to talk to. If you ain't
Mhm.
mature, and sometimes women, I mean, all you gotta do is post a certain picture. You're gonna get y'all know what to post to get them DMs popping. You know what I'm saying?
So, well, let me ask you this. So, if a man, because women always ask me all the time what I think the investment should look like,
Mm.
right? But being a man, I will ask you, what does the initial investment when a man is interested and he's being intentional in his
Yeah.
pursuit? What does the investment look like up front?
First, intentionality,
Mm-hmm.
then consistency. You know what I'm saying? From being if you're gonna be intentional, you're gonna be consistent
Mm-hmm.
and having honest conversations about like, what's your expectations? Because everybody got different
Yes.
expectations. Depending
Mm-hmm.
on how you was raised, you're gonna see from a different lens.
Right.
If you was raised in poverty, you might value a financial situation being
Right.
stable, as opposed to if you wasn't raised in poverty, you might value time.
Exactly.
So you need to understand the mindset of their love language and their personality type and their traumas and like what how were you really raised? How do you really see love?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when you do that, now we can be effective in our pursuit of happiness and love together. You know, because I what I tell somebody, like, if I'm consistent, everybody call me cheap. I think I'm just conservative.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm willing to spend money, that do say I like you. But if
Mm-hmm.
I'm most of all, if I'm consistent,
Right.
if I'm very consistent and intentional, because that's not something I was always willing to do. And the sad thing about it is just being real transparent, and judge me later, whatever the case may be. I spent a lot of time with a lot of women and I wasn't consistent. I wasn't intentional.
Right.
Never gave them any thing to say like, I'm really interested in you.
Right.
But
Right.
it would still drag on for months.
Months.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to be real. We always looked at the victim, the obvious victimizer as the bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't look at the person that's supposed to be the victim, you know, in the mindset, like the responsibility, the role that they play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? Because
we do here.
yeah, like you like,
On the I Am Worthy podcast, we hold ourselves accountable. Worthy women are accountable for their actions.
mm,
And this is why I teach them you're the gatekeeper. Nobody came and took anything that you didn't offer.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, even in dating, that my job is to know my value and project my value out into the world. The person who is ready to enter into any type of intentional, you know, relationship at any type of relationship, but if he's intentional and he
Mhm.
sees value in what it is I have to offer, he will present himself.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna have to do jumping jacks and hold a sign and say, "Hey, pick me and choose me."
You gotta
No,
ask him why you ain't met his friends, why he not taking
no,
you
we're
out.
not doing that.
Like,
We're not gonna do that.
yeah,
So I love the fact that you did say that it'll be an intentional pursuit. It'll be a consistent pursuit. I think one thing that you said that hadn't considered was because my love language is very much acts of service. So
hmm,
listen, on a day like today where it's past 4 o'clock and I have not eaten anything,
hmm,
show up. You know, Uber Eats.
yeah,
That's
thoughtful,
right.
yeah,
So, but what you said was is that before you are venturing into the acts of service, you first make the investment in her mindset.
mm,
So getting to know her mental and what does she think, what does she believe, what does she value?
yeah,
And I think that that's key because for men, in order for you guys to feel safe and vulnerable, you have to know that you can trust her.
absolutely,
and you can't trust someone that you don't know. It's like sports, right? I need to know. I don't know no positions, y'all, but but you need to know if you the quarterback. If I throw you the ball, you're gonna catch it.
Absolutely.
Right. And so that's key, because women, that's typically the last thing we want to give. Like, when in terms of getting to know someone new and letting someone in, that women will be more guarded with that piece of them, because if I let you in there, you get to see me.
I would say men too. We just express in a different way. And one issue is people love people the way they want to be loved.
True.
And you can't do that. Like, I'll never forget, for my birthday one time, this girl I was dating, she took me to this restaurant, the Melting Pot. And it was good. You know what I'm saying? And it was like $90 for both of us to eat.
Of course.
But afterwards, she went home and I went home. You could have got me some pancakes from IHOP, like 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I could eat till my stomach hurt.
10.
You know?
Got you.
Yeah, I might only ate 5 or 6, but with a whole bunch of syrup or some croissants from Cheddar's.
But he turned down the granola I offered him earlier.
Yeah,
but go
I
ahead.
don't know why. I don't like stuff with like the chocolate or nuts in it. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Whatever. But and us spend time.
Quality time.
Now she would like to get dressed up nice and go out on the town.
Right.
But that's not my love
That's
language.
not you.
So I know for her, that's what I need to do to make her feel validated or loved or appreciated.
Yes.
But for me, so a lot of times we make that mistake. And then men, it's like, women a lot of times, be a man. What you mean? What does being a man look like? We trying to tear down these social constructs when it comes to anger, when it comes to toxic masculinity. Right. But when it's convenient and when you're upset, you want to go back to it. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
That's why I brought up the thing about the gender role thing. Women are very progressive. Black women, super progressive. Just paying all the bills type stuff. I think you should. There's no cookie cutter way to do a relationship.
No.
I think you should do what works best for your relationship.
Right.
And if it works out best for me to be paying the bills, you better be doing something. Because I'm a former athlete. I ain't never about to watch somebody else grind and me just sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm going to carry all the bags, but, go grab the bread at least. Don't just watch me and like he's supposed to get it.
Right.
Like, no, we about to have a problem now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let me know that, I want to know that you support. I'm not about to have you, I feel like, I do the dishes. Sometimes you do the dishes. Or if, I'm not the best cook, eat at your own risk when I cook. But if you're cooking, I'm doing the dishes. No questions asked.
Right.
Well, if we got kids, that's what kids is for. Make them do it.
Right. And so it's really the partnership. It's really the partnership. And this is where I'm very clear that even in dating, like when you talk about know what your deal breakers are, like you have to know the difference between the things that you need in a relationship and the things that you want. Because my wants, they're fun. We have fun together. We chill. Those are the good things. But the things I need are the things that help me be the best I can be for you.
Absolutely.
And those are the things that I can't sacrifice on, because if you can't meet my need of trust, then I can't give you a calm version of me. You're going to get the
there's not
anxious.
enough gifts or sex to make me trust you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, I feel you. And also we think about this in relationships. I need somebody with a growth mindset. Relationships evolve.
Yes.
If we get people that get married real young get divorced young. Yes. So then they out in the dating. They got married at 22, and then they divorced by 28. And then they dating, and they ain't got no idea they in somebody's backseat because they don't know that things done changed up now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep it real.
I cannot.
Yeah. Let's be honest, you know what I'm saying?
I get, so, yeah. And it's the evolution and expecting the evolution. When I tell you, that is one thing that I learned about myself recently, is that as I am growing into more of who I am, even in my purpose and my gifting, that what's attractive to me is a man that doesn't see me as who I am today, but I need you to see me as who I'm going to be. I need you to fall in love with that version of me, because I have no intention of staying the same. I have every intention of growing. That's in powerful. All areas. So liking me now is cool. Okay, I like me too.
You're going to love me later.
But I need you to be so invested with the woman I'm gonna become.
Yeah.
Because, and vice versa. When you see a man, if you can't see his future and what he's working towards and what he sees himself becoming, like that's the journey you're signing up for. You're not signing up for who he is today.
Yeah.
So do you love who he is striving to be?
Are you committed to the commitment of love? Because my sister, she's been married, I believe it's 13 years. And she said, Brian, you're gonna have to realize that y'all might grow at different times. So you may be in a position where you're in extreme acceleration and they're
Mm,
stagnant.
yeah.
So you're gonna have to be patient. You're gonna have to love that person, and you're gonna have to be there because you made a commitment in a covenant.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we get arrogant or we get impatient
Mm-hmm.
because we're growing at different levels. But the key is having somebody with a growth mindset so y'all can constantly be growing. But we're gonna have to accept the fact there's a difference between a relationship and then the covenant, the institution of
Yeah.
marriage
Yeah.
and the expectations within that. But ultimately it's, understanding what real love is. And that's why dating can be tough because you're looking at all the aspects and all the things you're seeing on social media.
Yeah.
Everybody out talking about goals. It'd be people like, why are they your goals? It's somebody in your neighborhood that's been married for 37 years
Mm-hmm.
that's way better goals than
Right.
this rapper with 18 chains
Mm-hmm.
and this
Yeah.
silicone
Yes, I understand.
Sheeby.
So then for you, Mr. Carroll, what would you say unconditional, as you have grown, what would you say is the definition of unconditional love that you have learned?
I like to go with 1 Corinthians 13.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whether you subscribe to the word of God or not, it's a great standard. Love is patient, love is kind, it holds no record of wrong. Um, it's 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 dope because it's absent of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And love is a commitment to your commitment. You know what I'm saying? Love is a decision. If you're a parent, you don't feel like changing them diapers and getting up in the middle of the night, but you're committed to doing it. In love, like I've heard people that's married say, sometimes you wake up, you want to kill a person, or you can't stand them. They sleep, you just want to steal off on them while they sleep. But you still love them, though. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But it's the decision, it's the commitment, and you have to be patient in it. You have to be kind. You can't hold on to things. That doesn't mean you don't address them. That don't
Right.
mean you don't work through them. You can't be envious. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And these are the tools that you need to foster and build a productive and a thriving relationship. And to me, that's what love is.
Yeah.
A lot of people always try to switch the field goal according to how they feel.
Uh-huh.
Love is this, but when you feeling some, oh, it's not love no more, huh? Is it? You know what I'm saying? No,
Mm-hmm. That's based on conditions.
that's based on conditions.
Yeah.
That's why they say through sickness and health,
Mm.
good and bad. What else they say? That other stuff.
Mm.
They be saying stuff.
They be saying stuff at the altar. It's a book called Lies at the Altar. It's a really good book.
For real?
Mhm.
Lies at the
Oh,
altar?
Lies at the Altar. And it's talking about how most people, when they say those vows, don't understand what they mean. And so
Facts.
we're saying what sounds good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You complete me. I will love you until forever, but that you don't mean it. You don't mean it because you haven't been tested. And it's
Man.
not until you're tested that you realize what it means to love someone just for who they are. I take you as is, and it's this notion that I don't have to change you for
Mm-hmm.
you to be what I need, that I allow you to be who you are and love who you are and let give you the grace to grow and evolve at your rate, at your
That's
pace.
powerful. Like to have a disdain or want somebody to change because it's something that's affecting or hurting you,
Mm.
but being patient and trusting enough to allow them to go through their process and not like fall back more and more every day based on how you feel, but let your decision and your commitment to guide how you respond. That's love for real.
Mhm.
That's powerful. And you're right. I don't think people understand what they're saying.
Because it's a journey to get to that. You don't just wake up to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trial and error,
Mm-hmm.
and even walking that journey, and so that's what makes marriage the work that it is. When I
Mm-hmm.
meet with couples, that's what we're working on, is how do they get to this place to where I'm not trying to change my partner, but I accept where they are in this moment so that we can lovingly walk this journey together.
Well, I heard a sermon. It's crazy. Right before the film, while we were quarantining for the sermon of the show, for the show, I was listening to this sermon. This dude was talking about you have to build up your stamina to love. Like nobody's born. Like I could care about this young lady a lot, but I don't wake up saying, "Oh, I can't wait to go through adversity with her." Like I can't wait
Right.
to forgive her when she hurts me deeply.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to forgive her when she betrays. I can't nobody thinks about that type of stuff. And just like the stamina you got to get to do 100 push-ups or to run a mile, you have to develop that same type of stamina. Like you have to grow in love.
Right.
You know, and it's good to see it modeled and see examples of it. And that's why healthy relationships, seeing healthy relationships. And I think when you're in a relationship and when you're married, you need to have friends that don't marry. All your friends can't be trying to have a hot girl something.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to have you in Cabo on Girls Gone Wild. And your husband going to be wondering why you came back with all the beads and you ain't go to Mardi Gras.
These scenarios just...
Yeah, I have a vivid imagination.
Vivid imagination just out there. Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely do agree with you. I think, and even being in your single season, having friends who are married, because it keeps you focused on what you want, and what the end goal is. So definitely. Well, thank you for your insights today.
Welkies.
I think, huh?
The Welkies.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Baby talk.
So, any last thoughts, comments, suggestions for women as they are in their journey of pursuing their own worth and dating, navigating this dating world at the same time?
I would say knowing your worth. Know your worth. It goes outside of just having an expectation for somebody else.
Yep.
Ultimately, it's having an expectation for yourself. Change I want to see must first begin in me. And if it is to be, it is up to me. So, you know, you teach people how to treat you. And, you know, remember, you know, communication is key. Positive communication is key. And don't sell yourself short.
Very good. Thank you.
And cash app them if you care about them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and cash. No, I'm just playing. Don't listen to that.
Did you say cash app them if they care about them?
Yeah. If you care about them, cash app them.
I can see that.
I'm going to get some croissants, some cheddars. $6.
Where can the people find you on all the social media sites?
So on Instagram, it's Super Carroll, SUPERCARROLL. On Facebook, it's Bryan Carroll, BRYANCARROLL. My Cash App is I'm just playing, y'all.
He would like some croissants.
Yeah, I love croissants. But yeah, my website is Bryan Carroll and Associates. The word "and" spelled out. Associates has 2 S's in it as well for y'all who struggle with spelling.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, I'm just playing, but that's so for a lot of the youth mentoring and stuff. I'm starting online mentoring as well. You know, have the children's books. You can get the books, the digital copy, or I can mail it to you. It is on Amazon. Amazon be taxing though. So.
What's the name of the book?
Super Sharing. It's I have social skills books for kids, just practical situations about sharing, about fun, about choosing the right type of friends and stuff like that to help the kids to navigate through life.
Awesome. Very good. Yes. Go pick up his book, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you continue to grow and blossom and do a whole bunch of great Black man things.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you guys, this was another amazing episode on the I Am Worthy podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you share this video with all your girlfriends because I think that some very important things were said as you are navigating your season of singleness, even your relationship right now, really figuring out what does love feel like to me? How do I want to experience it differently in my relationships? I think this episode is going to help you. So make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe and comment below and let myself and Bryan know how this information helped you because I know that you're going to get a lot of value out of this episode. So until next time, you guys, I will catch you later.